So a couple of months ago, I put out a video saying AMC will not squeeze. And well, it did. And was I wrong? Well, of course, I was wrong. In the title and thumbnail alone. But the content of the video has now fully played into fruition. At the recording of this video, AMC is down over 50% from its June highs. And does this represent that this is the end of the move for AMC, or is it going to rocket and go all the way to 10,000 US dollars a share, as some YouTube channels are predicting? Now, before we get into it, I just want to clarify this is not financial advice. I'm just a bloke with a beard who currently holds no position, long or short, in AMC, and I guarantee you I will not be trading it anytime in the future. And I just feel right now on YouTube there is a message that is clearly not getting pushed forward to the average Joe who is investing all their life savings into AMC. And that said, if you are looking for a video saying AMC is going to go to 100K, 10K, or even $100, talk about synthetic shares and share manipulation and how Wall Street hates you, this isn't the video for you. Those videos are a dime a dozen on YouTube, and if you want more of that, you're probably better off just leaving this video right now. This video is more about talking about the big risks with AMC and investing into it right now. Now, if you do hold a position in it, whether you're green or red, this is probably still relevant for you. So if you're still here, congratulations, you've already beat the majority of your ape friends. Now, cinemas around the world are in a hell of a lot of pain. Cineworld in the UK, the second biggest cinema chain in the world before the pre-pandemic. Cineworld was a stock I bought pretty much at the bottom at I think about 22p a share, and I did very, very well out of it. I locked gains, I locked in 120%, and now have a complete free ride, and I have seen the profits that I have left over in this drip down as AMC has started to as well. The only difference is AMC is in a much better position because they have raised a hell of a lot of cash to help pay off their massive debt pile, and partly that is down to you, the people who have been buying this stock, to teach those hedges a lesson. You've literally saved this company, and I want to congratulate you wholeheartedly on doing so. But now might be the time to start reconsidering what the next step might be. Now again, there's a lot of crazy videos out there predicting AMC is going to go to 100K or even 10K, and you just need to do some simple math. If you just work out what AMC's market cap would be if the stock went to 100,000, 10,000, even $1,000 a share, do you think that's justifiable? Now, I know a lot of people are already going to be going off in the comments saying, but VW did it and blah, 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 blah. But it is a different world. Back then, people needed cars. In a recession, people still needed cars to get to work, to get to the job line, wherever they were going, feeding their family, the supermarket. People needed cars. Cinema, it's a different kettle of fish, especially given the whole streaming service that I'm going to talk about in this video as well. There's a lot of risks with AMC, and I really think people need to take warning of it. And that said, even so, if you're still very bullish on it, fair play to you, and I wish you the best of luck with this trade. Now, coming away from the crazy predictions people have been putting online, let's have a little look at the short interest. Currently online, there's many different predictions on this. Some websites are saying it's 20%, some are saying 25, some are even saying 15 or even as low as 10. But if we look at the S3 data, their latest data shows that there is 13.8%, which is a 6.2% increase from the previous S3. But whatever it is, whether it's 20%, 15%, 10%, all that matters is there's a clear increase. Shorts are increasing their positions, which would warrant more likelihood of a short squeeze. In the second quarter, AMC issued a record $1.2 billion from issuing new shares in the second quarter alone. Now, I want to be very clear here. Although on one hand it's great for a company raising money who clearly needs to raise it, dilution is never good in terms of any stock. If you want the stock price to go up, dilution is only good if there is enough people buying it. And to be clear, there have been enough people buying it right now, but that might be coming to an end very soon because they might need to dilute more, and I'll talk on that in just a second. Now, AMC is heavy leveraged in terms of debt. They have a bill debt of $4.5 billion US dollars. Now, this debt is going to be very hard to issue new shares on, and the problem in debt gets even worse because they have deferred rent payments due at the end of the year. Now, on this deferred payments of rent, it's very speculative, but one thing we do know is they're going to have to pay it at some point, and I don't know how far back it's tracked. Is it tracked from the beginning of the pandemic, or is it just from the last year? I really don't know this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. But as it stands, we do know this debt bill is going to come, and it's not going to be a small amount. And if we look at the big short, the legend investor that is Michael Burry, and people are not going to like this, he's also said the meme stock craze is coming to an end, and the stocks are going to end and come crashing down like the dot-com bubble and like every recession that has gone before. And you can't really turn on Michael Burry because he was one of the first investors in GameStop, the original meme stock. And I know that's not going to really deterrent some people from disliking and leaving a negative comment in the box below, but Michael Burry is one of the best investors of our time. If we look on TipRanks, which is basically where all the analysts from around the world gather and give their 12-month price prediction on any said stock, 4 top analysts have given their prediction on this, and it is not a good picture either. 0 people say it's a buy, 1 person says it's a hold, and 3 people say you should sell it. And if we look at their 12-month price target, it's not a good picture. They estimate the stock is going to go all the way down to an average price of $5.43 a share, which is a hell of a drop even from its current fall. But I want to be very clear here, analysts are rarely right, and they're right as much as they're wrong. Take this with a pinch of salt, but it doesn't bode well if they do turn out to be right here on this average price prediction. And on a more technical note, if we look at the chart, we look at the VPVR, which is basically volume by price, we can see that the float time after time is trapped above the current price. Whether they're selling, whether they're buying, there's a hell of a lot of people trapped right now in this stock. And a lot of people will be sitting through a lot of pain, praying to the gods of the stock market that this one does indeed squeeze, whether it be from synthetic shares, Reddit, it doesn't matter, but there's a lot of people right now ready to click that panic button and get me the hell out of here. And even worse than that, I'm sure a lot of people are using leverage and then margin calls are coming in. Now, more fundamentally speaking, cinemas are going to be going extinct in the long run. It's a prediction I made a long time ago, and I think that cinemas will survive as more of a nostalgic and go away from the whole like sort of big cinema chains. I think it's going to be more of like a drive-in type cinema experience, or more of a day out experience if you like. We've got a boutique cinema here in Budapest, and it's doing very well. And the reason I'm saying this is if we look at Black Widow, which has just come out and did, well, okay at the cinema. I'm not going to say great. It was actually on the low end of most analysts' estimations. I think it did like $80 million on its debut week. But if you look at Disney Plus, it was also released there where it did 60 million, which yes, is less, but they don't have rent, they don't have high expenses, and not relying on popcorn to make money. I think this is a genuinely big problem for cinemas, and I love going to the cinema, let me tell you. I love passing off the kid to the in-laws and going having a day out with the cinema, a nice meal and some beers afterwards, and crawl into bed thinking about how bad Fast and the Furious 38 was. But I do think that these streaming services are going to take hold. Look at Netflix, it's actually putting out mega content in terms of revenue, and more actors are moving over to Netflix. I remember 5 years ago thinking, they're never going to have Dwayne Johnson in a Netflix movie. Netflix is dominating the market. Disney's took hold of that. Warner Brothers took hold of that. And again, Amazon has just bought out James Bond. So James Bond's in the future, I'm sure, are going to go to Amazon. The cinemas are going to get hit hard. I'm sure you understand what I'm getting at by this. And it's unfortunate as it is. But if you look at it on paper, Black Widow took in 80 million plus 60 million, which all of that in theory should have went to the cinemas, but it didn't. 60 million of it went to Disney Plus. And I remember in the first AMC video, people saying this isn't going to take off, movies are coming out, and they basically said it's not going to happen. Well, it is. There's the proof in the pudding. Black Widow just made 60 million from a streaming service where they literally just had to upload it on a USB stick. Of course, it's more complicated than that, but that is it. And now one of the more weird things, which has actually turned out to be a bullish thing, is that Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC, and to be clear, I do like Adam Aron. I think he's a guy for the people and he's doing the best for the company. And he's took the best of a bad situation and helped this company survive. Because again, without this whole Reddit Wall Street craze, AMC would be in a much worse position and still be facing bankruptcy. But Adam Aron clearly said when he wanted to do the 500 million and then they did the other dilution instead, that they are not going to offer any more shares. And then he wants to offer another 25 million shares last month, and now he said that's off the table as well. So which is it? Is he not offering shares? Does he want to offer shares? He keeps bringing it to the table, getting investors used to the idea that they need to offer more shares to pay off this whopping 4.5 billion plus debt. They need to dilute if they want to survive. It's just a fact. They cannot rely on movies like Black Widow to keep this company alive. Now, on a more bullish note, the synthetic shares, I said I wouldn't talk about it, but I need to touch on it to give you that case. Yes, they are real. I do believe they're real, and I believe it is a very bullish factor. The short interest, yes, it's high, but again, you have to ask yourself right now, who is winning, the shorts or the longs? Because again, the whole float times 3 or 4, maybe even more than that, is currently trapped above the current price. I see this as being a big problem for AMC going forward, because you always have to think who is winning, shorts or longs. Because right now, if you shorted since June, you're green as hell and you're smashing it. And you're probably laughing at everybody else who keeps trying to buy up the float. Now, I don't want to say it's not going to squeeze, because again, that video triggered a lot of people. But again, it's something to be wary of. The synthetic shares and the short interest alone, I don't feel is enough to push this up to the crazy predictions of $1,000 a share, or even maybe $100 a share. I could be wrong. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, the way I see it, if you've made it in this far in the video, firstly, congratulations. Majority of people probably don't even want to listen to the bear case. So if you have made it this far, just drop down in the comments, I made it, and that way I'll know I'm listening to somebody who made it this far and at least wants to listen to the opposing case, which I feel is needed if you want to actually make money in investing. But the way I see it is you're either red on the trade or green on the trade in terms of a long perspective. There's probably not too many short people watching this video in AMC anyway, because I've said even in the previous video, if you're shorting this stock, you're absolutely bananas. But right now you need to ask yourself this question: would you buy more of this stock at its current price? If the answer is yes, then everything I've said doesn't matter to you, and fair play to you, and I hope it does rocket to the moon and I'm wrong and you're right. Again, I hold no position. But if the answer is no, then you probably need to do some reevaluating on where do you cut this stock if it continues falling. Don't become a bag holder, because if this stock genuinely goes back down to $10, I don't think it's ever going to go back up to that 50, because they're going to need to dilute. He's openly said he wants to dilute in the next year or two, and if he does at $10, that's going to push the price even further down, and with more shares in the market, it's going to be near enough impossible for them to get it all the way back up. I hate to see people lose money, especially people who are willing to listen to opposing sides of the market, so please be safe out there. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope it works out for you. If you could do me the kind favor of making sure that like button is turned blue, because I know this video is going to get a hell of a lot of dislikes, even though all I'm trying to do is permit the bear case, which I feel is not really represented on YouTube. That's it from me. Take care. All the best. Peace. Oh, one thing. If you want to support the channel, check out Patreon. We've got a chat room and some cool perks. You can even find out when I'm buying and selling stocks myself. Seriously, I'm done. Peace.